go. Peace and blessings. Peace, blessings, love, and light. Yah, the Most High, shine down on and in the lives of all of the Creator's righteous children, resurrecting His gods on earth. I want y'all to consider something. I always want y'all to consider something, right? But peep this though. Peep this. I was thinking about this scripture in the Bible. It's in the book of Psalm. I think it's y'all might have to look it up. I might tell you the chapter and verse. I might tell you it wrong. I think it's Psalm chapter 55 verse 5, but it goes something like this. In my mother's sin I was born, and shaped in iniquity. Born in sin and shaped in iniquity. Just look that up, but I know it's in the book of Psalms. Born in sin and shaped in iniquity. Go look that up. So that came to mind, and I want y'all to consider this. When you were born here in America, most of you were raised up to believe in Santa Claus. When you were born in this country, most of you as children were raised up to believe in Santa Claus, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and the other 12 reindeer, Donner and Blitzen, and I don't know them deer's name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You were born here in America, and as children, you were raised to believe that. And for some years, you were believing that every December, you was expecting Santa Claus come to your house and give you some presents. And as you started getting older, and you started hearing these rumors about Santa Claus not being real, it was hard for you to accept that. It was hard for you to accept that reality, that Santa Claus is not real. Now, I want you to take that same situation and apply that situation to what is called the melting pot philosophy. America is known as a melting pot. Why is America known as a melting pot? What exactly is America melting? And why does that sound like a good thing to us? Does it sound like a good thing to us because just like with Santa Claus, we were born in this and raised up to believe in the melting pot philosophy? But why do we assume that that is a good thing? What exactly is being melted? Races are being melted together. Is that how why is there different races on this planet? I'm quite sure that the universe designed different races for a reason. But for some reason, everybody thinks that it's okay to melt races. Everybody thinks that it's okay to go and steal land from Indians and Mexicans and then bring all these other nationalities into this stolen land and start melting the races together. And I'm telling you, that is not even biblical. America goes against biblical principles. That's what Genesis chapter 11 is about, when it talks about, the languages being confounded. I'm not gonna get all into the, who God is, what God really is, who Jesus is, what a Jesus. I'm not even getting into all of that. What I am telling you is that there is an original order that this planet is supposed to be in, And America has been going against that original order, just like empires before her. Empires before America that caused extinction level events on this planet because people don't understand the original order of this planet. The order that the universe designed. There's a reason why there is a north, south, east, and west. There's a reason why there's a north hemisphere, south hemisphere, east hemisphere, west hemisphere. There's a reason why there are animals that you find in the north hemisphere that you will not find in the south. You will find animals in the south hemisphere that you will not find in the west, and you'll find animals in the west hemisphere that you will not find in the east. That is nature. There is a reason why Europeans are in the north hemisphere. That's where you find a majority of them. There's a reason why you find jet black, dark-skinned, straight-haired Indians in the south hemisphere in India. You will find a majority of them there. There's a reason why you find a majority of Asian people in the East Hemisphere. There is a reason why you find a majority of Mesoamericans in the West Hemisphere. There is a reason why you find a majority of Africans sitting in the middle of these four that are in the four hemispheres. So why do you think that this melting pot philosophy of stealing people's land, bringing all of these nationalities in here so you can melt all of these races together? You were born into that thinking. But just like Santa Claus is not real, the melting pot philosophy is not a real thing. It's not something that is supposed to be done. You just believe in it because you were born in it and made to believe that. The way that the planet is supposed to be, everybody is supposed to be in their God-given territory. Now you'll notice that there are borders among these. You got the Europeans in the North Hemisphere, right? But you see that their borders touch African borders. You have the Asians in the East Hemisphere, but you see that their borders touch African borders. You have the Indians in the South Hemisphere, but their borders touch African borders. And then the Mesoamericans, before, that situation with Atlantis and everything, when Africa was connected to North and South America, their borders were touching African borders. People talk about being neighborly, love your neighbor as you love yourself. That is when everybody was neighborly. If you were right there, if your border was touching African borders, it's just like the neighbor next door to you. Even though there's a fence between your property and their property, in the morning you wake up, you see your neighbor over the fence, you say, "Hey, neighbor." But the Bible says, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, nor anything in thy neighbor's house, not even his maid servant or his man servant or his woman servant." But for some reason, somebody back then felt like, I'm not gonna obey that law. I'm not gonna follow that universal principle. I'm not gonna follow that universal law. I'm not gonna align myself with nature. And they went against that. And then you're born into that satanic mentality and you think that it's okay. And then when somebody like me come and say that, Europeans are not supposed to be marrying outside of their European tribes. Asians are not supposed to be marrying outside of their Asian tribes. East Indians are not supposed to be marrying outside of their Indian tribes. Mesoamericans ain't supposed to be marrying outside of their Mesoamerican tribes, and Africans are not supposed to be marrying outside of their African tribes. Each of these areas have a multiple of tribes. There's how many different countries are in Europe? How many different countries are in Asia? How many different countries are in India? How many different countries are here in North and South America? How many countries are in Africa? But we can't find a spouse on our continent. We got to go over to another continent and mix blood with that one. Why do we do that? That Santa Claus philosophy. You You're born into believing and following something that is wrong. And then when somebody comes to you and try to tell you that, you just like you had a hard time believing that Santa Claus is not real. Some of y'all wanted to fight folks when they told you Santa Claus wasn't real. You wanted to ball up your hand into a fist and throw it at somebody when they told you Santa Claus ain't real. And it's the same thing. That's really what the story of Jesus is about. Jesus is not an individual. I'm not getting into all of that, but what I'm telling you, the reason why there was a crucifixion or a death or a destruction of this revolutionary movement that was taking place in the New Testament is because the gospel that they were teaching was Ezra chapter 9, chapter 10. Ezra chapter 9, verse 12 specifically. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. Joshua chapter 23, the story of Samson in Judges chapter 15, chapter 14, chapter 15, chapter 16. The story of Solomon and his wife in 1 Kings chapter 11, verses 1 through 5. This is the message that was being taught during the days of the Roman Empire, and folks didn't want to hear that. Folks didn't want to hear about somebody hitting the reset button and putting this planet back in its original order. Folks didn't want to hear that. And that revolutionary movement got put to death. Basically, some people were charged with insurrection and sedition against the Roman government. They got charged for going against the way Rome was doing things. People go against me because of what it is that I teach. I'm teaching y'all the original order of this planet. I'm telling you about the original order of this planet. But just like in the days of Rome, man, ain't nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing new under the sun. This situation that's going on right now here in America, this ain't none of this new. All of this has happened several times in the Bible. It happened in the so-called days of Noah. It happened in Genesis chapter 11. It happened in the days of Moses and the Exodus. It happened in the book of Nehemiah. It happened in the New Testament. The Bible is Helios Biblios. The book is a history book. It's cyclical in nature. If you follow a particular format, it's almost like mathematics, almost like algebra. If you perform a particular algebraic sequence, you're going to come out to a particular answer. The melting pot philosophy is an algebraic sequence that should not be. At the end, you should come out in balance. You should have a ma'at balance at the end of that sequence, where we don't come to that. We don't come to ma'at balance in this melting pot philosophy. Yes, we are to love our neighbors. We are to love our neighbors as we love ourselves, but these bloodlines were not supposed to be mixing. It ain't supposed to be no melting pot. You want to see all of the races get along? Send everybody back to the land of their ancestors. Purify your bloodline and go back to loving your neighbor that way. Europeans loving Africans, but you ain't making babies with them. Asians loving Africans, but you ain't making babies with them. Indians loving Africans, but you not making babies with them, no. Mesoamericans loving Africans, but you not making no babies with them, no. There is a reason why you got these people on the planet that got wool hair that grows up to the universe and stand up on our head, because that is where we come from. We are children of the universe, children of the sun, children of Yah, children of the Most High Yah, the Most High, the universe. Yah is the sun. That's Psalm chapter 68, verse 4, Psalm chapter 82, verse 6 through 8. The people whose hair grows up toward the universe, we are children of the universe and the sun. Those of y'all with the straight hair that grow downward, you are man. You are earthling. These two bloodlines are not supposed to be mixing. Y'all don't know what a God is because God been dead on this planet. And every time God try to resurrect on this planet, here come all these people wishing death upon a God or upon the gods. Man is always attacking God. Always. People be talking about Lucifer. Lucifer said, I too shall sit in the mountains of the north. That is man desiring to be in the seat of the children of the universe. That is a earthling wanting the same position that the children of the universe have. Y'all talking about Lucifer like it's an actual individual. It's a mentality. Every race has a particular purpose. No purpose is greater than the other one. For example, yeah, I'm saying that Africans are supposed to be the shepherds over this earth, but you can't be a shepherd over the earth if all of the animals are sick. All of the animals got rabies and they out of their mind. Well, obviously you as a God, you didn't do your job. How did these animals get out of their mind? How these animals would get sick? Because you wasn't being a good shepherd. So that means that you are no good. The only way you know if you're a good shepherd is if all your animals are taken care of properly. And when your animals are taken care of properly, the animals take care of the earth properly. It's just like a farmer and his mule or his bull or his cow, whatever he uses to plow his field. If he ain't taking care of that bull, that field is not going to get plowed. And if that field don't get plowed, ain't no crops are going to grow. Nothing's going to grow. Now the sheep ain't eating, the goats ain't eating, the chicken ain't eating, the hogs ain't eating, ain't nobody eating. Because the bull is sick and the farmer ain't plowing the field. You see how everybody, in a farm sense, you see how everybody has their position. The farmer ain't nothing without the animals. The animals are really nothing without the farmer. That's the universal order for this planet. Folks don't want to acknowledge who the farmer is. And then somebody be like, yo, these people are the farmer and they not fulfilling their responsibility as the farmer. And then what happened? The New Testament, folks getting crucified for teaching a message that's supposed to be taught. But because everybody believe in Santa Claus and they want to stay believing Santa Claus, now they want to fight when they find out that Santa Claus ain't real. Now they want to fight when they find out that the melting pot philosophy is not a wise philosophy. What's that saying about common sense? Sense is not too common these days. Dog, and nature is testifying to you every day. Every day you seeing birds flying around. I see a crow over here flying around. I see a sparrow over there. I see a red robin, a blue jay, a pigeon. Every now and again, I might see a woodpecker. Ain't none of these birds getting busy with each other and making babies. I ain't never seen a turkey get busy with a chicken. And if they were getting busy with each other all of a sudden and making babies, you would be like, that's a freak of nature. A hawk mixed with a duck? What is that, a huck? And that creation is not going to function properly. It's going to have all kind of internal issues, like a buzzard making a baby with a hawk. Buzzards, their digestive system is made to break down dead carcasses. Hawks, their digestive system is built to break down live animals that they're eating. But the buzzard done got busy with the hawk. Now that whole digestive system is confused. Doggone, what would you call that? A buzzard mixed with a hawk? A hawk-huzzard? A buzzawk? That's what the baby would be called if they got busy, and that's what come out the egg, a bazzawk. And that bazzawk is gonna go through this world having internal struggles. Am I a buzzard? Am I a hawk? Am I supposed to eat dead things or live things? Eating both dead and live things, and then when them things come together in their gut and get into their bloodstream, and now it's a psycho out here. It don't know what it want to do. Now it's killing the wrong things because it's out of its mind. And that's what we're dealing with. On this planet ain't nothing but a bunch of freaks of nature running around here, and now they gotta go see a psychiatrist to try to figure them out because they don't know what's going on. It's the melting pot philosophy. You were born into a sin, and you were shaped in its iniquity. The melting pot iniquity. I really hope that, folks take time to, read Ezra chapter 9, Ezra chapter 10. And I know there's people out there that don't believe in the Bible because the people that have been teaching it, these white supremacist seminary schools, they turn that book into a doggone comic book the way that they be teaching it. None of the people that teach the Bible, none of the people that I know of that teach the Bible, they don't trace them English words back to their Hebrew meanings, back to their Phoenician meanings, back to the language of the first civilization, because that's what the book is about. The book is about the very first civilizations, civil nations that were created on this planet when laws, statutes, and commandments were established to maintain civil nation. But then it fell. The book is explaining why it fell and what must be done in order for it to resurrect again. But all throughout the book, you see when they try to resurrect it again, they always running into problems. You see prophets getting killed. You see prophets and judges and evangelists and pastors, children of God. You see them getting dismissed. You see children of God getting discredited. You see children of God getting demonized. You're seeing children of God get destroyed. By what? Freaks of nature. People that were born in a particular sin and shaped by that iniquity, and they think that that's the way life is supposed to be. And then when somebody come and be like, somebody from the universe come down and be like, this is the way it's supposed to be. This is the universal order. This is how you maintain decency and order. This is the way nature is supposed to be. We don't want to hear that. Nigga, go sit your ass down somewhere with that dumb shit. It be crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, man. It's craziness. But what happens? The universe attacks the planet, extinction level event, wipe everything out because everything is sick. Because the gods on Earth done lost control of the planet. Now they mama gotta come, and now they mama and they daddy, they mama the universe, the dark matter energy, and they daddy, the sun, gotta send a signal down to their sister, the Earth, and tell the sister, look, get rid of everybody. All them babies you got, all them Earth babies you made, get rid of them. Because they ain't listening to nothing that we saying. They ain't listening to their mama. They ain't listening to their daddy. They not listening to your brother. You kill them babies. And it's happened. It has happened. It be happening every time you see a hurricane. Every time you see a tornado. Every time you see a major earthquake or a volcanic eruption. Eventually, it's going to be all of that stuff together. Earthquake come, then the volcano, and then a bunch of tornadoes and hurricanes. It's going to be the perfect storm to get rid of everybody because folks don't want to listen. They want to label people as crazy. That nigga cuckoo. They said the same thing about biblical Jesus. They called that man, they said that man was they said he cast out Satan because he's the prince of, he's Beelzebub, he's the prince of Satan. Ain't listen to a word that man or a word those people was saying. And what happened? Matthew chapter 24 happens in 79 AD. Rome got rocked by Mount Vesuvius. So that's my message, man. My message is, when you were born, You were raised up to believe in Santa Claus and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and nobody could tell you that Santa Claus was not real. But as you got older and you started hearing, these whispers that Santa Claus ain't really real, you got in your feelings about that. It's the same thing with this whole melting pot philosophy going on here in America. I am telling you that America is going against the biblical order. The biblical order is the universal order. That's really what the book is about. But y'all been listening to these false teachers and these false prophets. I'm telling you that that's what Genesis chapter 11 is about. Genesis chapter 11 is about a reset taking place. The planet being put back in its original order. Repatriation. Go read the definition for repatriation. That is when everybody returns back to the land of their ancestors. You return back to the land where your bloodline originated at. And you begin purifying your bloodline by not marrying outside nations, by not marrying foreigners and making babies with foreigners. It might be too late. I feel like it's too late, because I've been speaking this message since social media pretty much popped off. At least since like Facebook first started up. That's when ancestors pushed me out there, and I ain't seen nobody. All I've been getting is attacked. That's all I've been getting. I just been getting attacked because people think, or they want to assume that I'm crazy. But it's like Dave Chappelle said, don't be calling people crazy, man. That mess is dismissive. It's dismissive, and it be getting people in trouble. You find yourself running into the same situation that people ran into in 79 AD and situations before that. But that's my rant for today. The melting pot philosophy. Why do you think that that's a good philosophy? America is a melting pot. Why do you think it's okay to be in land that was stolen from indigenous people, and now you in here with all these other nations and everybody's melting together? And y'all wonder why, there's like all of these conflicts that's happening between the races. Maybe we not supposed to be all in one place like this. And I'm not even gonna say maybe. I mean, that's just nature trying to show y'all not supposed to be all up in one place like this. That's like, you live in a 5-bedroom house. The mama and daddy, they got their room. Got the big brother got his room. The big sister got her room. The middle sister got her room. The young brother got his room. But everybody in the big brother room, and expect the big brother to not always be trying to beat their ass every day because they up in his room and whatnot. Same situation, man. Same situation here in America. You have all these conflicts between all of these different races because everybody not supposed to be on these people land that got stolen from them. How you think they ancestors feel? I know people don't believe in ancestors, man, but I'm telling you, ancestors is real. Ancient Indian ancestors, ancient indigenous people of this land. You think that we're not dealing with their energy? You don't think that their energy is causing these conflicts, to try to make everybody go back home? You think that the ancestors of the Mexicans and Indians, you think they like seeing their babies, their descendants go through the situation of being second class, not even second class citizens? Man, the way Europeans be talking about and the way Europeans be treating Mexicans and indigenous Indians, got folks pushed off on the reservations. You got other Mexicans that are coming back into land that their ancestors used to roam and being told that, you're an illegal immigrant, you don't belong here. And you think their ancestors really want to see their babies going through that? Ancestors see everything through our eyes. They hear everything through our ears. They feel what we, their descendants, feel. people think that I'm trying to like separate people for like the wrong reasons or for like a bad reason because I'm a bigot. I am not a bigot. I don't hate other races. I love all of the races, but all of the races are being grayed out. All of the races are becoming lukewarm. You're not a European or an African. You're lukewarm. You're not an Asian. You're not an East Indian. You're a mixture of that. You're lukewarm. You're not a Mesoamerican. You're not a European. You're a Meso-European. You're not either or. You're lukewarm. And what the Bible say about things that are not hot or cold? Okay, ancestors said I said enough, so I'm done. I just remind y'all, just like how y'all used to believe in Santa Claus, and y'all found out Santa Claus wasn't real, and you was in your feelings about it. Now you in your feelings about me talking about y'all melting pot philosophy. Peace, blessings, love, and light. God the Most High shine down on and in the lives of all the Creator's righteous children, resurrecting as gods on earth. Ancestors' protection be around y'all. Live righteous.